Alright, so here I got a pretty good battle against a guy from BlackWhite Battle Finder. And yeah, I'm using a team that Torn gave me here. He said if I got a win with it and uploaded it, he'd give me $1.29. So I accepted the challenge. There's a team on Skype, and yeah, logs for proof, just in case he doesn't want to pay me. So it's got a Tyranitar for like no reason at all. It's just a Stealth Rock user, I guess, mainly to eliminate other weathers. And it's got spikes and toxic spikes, but I don't really think this team gonna be able to use it very well, since it's not stall and it doesn't have like super heavy hitters either. So I don't really think it's gonna work out too well. And I never liked Tentacruel. I think this is like the second time I ever used one, but it was on the team, so whatever. The other guy's using pretty much the same shit. We got 4 out of 6 that's the same. And so I guess the main sweeper for this team is supposed to be Swords Dance Scizor. So the other guy doesn't have too much to handle Swords Dance Scizor. I mainly got to get out of the way the Tentacruel, because the only move I can hit Tentacruel with is Bullet Punch. And I'm obviously going to need like +6 to be able to kill that thing. And he's going to be able to burn me with boiling water eventually. And then the Rotom is going to do quite a bit with Hydro Pump, because it is a fucking Rotom. And it obviously resists Bullet Punch as well. But the Jirachi might kind of be a problem also if it has Fire Punch. But not too many of them run Fire Punch, so I'm not too worried about that. And the rest of his team, Gengar I could work around with. Landorus, I got Skarm. And T-Tar is a fucking T-Tar. So yeah, let's get this shit started. So I decided to lead off with Tyranitar just because I want to get up Stealth Rock as soon as possible. Since he has Rotom and Landorus, I'm pretty sure he's going to want to try to Volt Turn on me. So he leads with the Rotom. I could go for Pursuit expecting Volt Switch, or he could just go for Hydro Pump. But I just decided to go for Stealth Rock to stick to my original plan, just in case he does decide to Volt Switch. And he does, so that's pretty good. Now I gotta get out of there. He goes to Landorus. I got Skarm to wall it for days, unless it's like the Smackdown set. But he uses U-turn, so I'm pretty confident that it's not Smackdown set anymore. So he's gonna go back out to Rotom, and he's turning, which I don't really mind, since I need as much damage on that Rotom as possible. Because, like I said, I want to sweep with Scizor eventually. So he goes for another U-turn or Volt Switch, whatever, and this time he goes out to Jirachi. I'm not sure why, but I figured he might want to set up a Stealth Rock of his own. So I'm going to go into my Rotom, expecting the Iron Head or a Stealth Rock maybe, but he goes for Body Slam and paralyzes me, which isn't too bad since luckily I break through the Para Hacks and the Flinch Hacks, and I'm able to trick it, so the Jirachi's pretty much useless. And I guess that was pretty lucky, but whatever, I don't give a fuck. So he's gonna probably switch, so I went for Volt Switch. No, I didn't go for Volt Switch. I just made a regular switch out to Tentacruel, since yeah, I wanted to burn him, because if he's Choice Scarfed and he's burned, he's gonna be entirely useless. So I'm gonna fire off a Scald. He goes to his Rotom thing, and I wanted to burn him the whole fucking match, but it doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Protect just for Sandstorm damage a little more. And I'm almost at the range where +2 Bullet Punch should be able to kill if he is the Choice Scarf variant. At this point, I'm not sure. He might be the Resto Chesto and have lots of HP. But yeah. So I go to T-Tar to take the Volt Switch, and he gets a crit. Doesn't matter too much though. So he goes into this what's it called? Tentacruel. And is gonna go for the rapid spin. I could have went to Gengar, but I didn't because I forgot I had him, to be honest. And I really wanted to get damage on him anyway, since a lot of Tyranitars don't run the Earthquake and this one does. I was pretty sure I'd be able to surprise him and get off a lot of damage, which I'm also going to need again for the ultimate goal, which is to sweep with Scizor. Ultimate goal, LOL. But he brings in Landorus. I have Rotom out. I'm pretty sure he's going to switch. So I'm like 100% sure I go for a Volt Switch of my own. And that's exactly what I do. He goes to Jirachi. And here I got a few choices. I could go like Skarm, Scizor, Tyranitar. I basically go to Tyranitar to bait him for going for the Iron Head, since I don't want him to get up with Wish yet, since his Rotom and his Tentacruel are getting kind of low, and I know he's going to eventually want to pass a Wish to those guys. So I go to Skarm, go for the Brave Bird. I thought he'd go for the I thought he'd switch either to Rotom or Tentacruel. So I went for the Brave Bird just to get off a little bit more damage on the Rotom if it decided to come in. But he went to T-Touch, so I'm gonna go into my Tentacruel here and try to burn this bitch. I know, well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure his doesn't run Earthquake, because like I said, Earthquake isn't really common on Tyranitar. They usually have Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Crunch, Pursuit, and other shit, but usually not Earthquake. So I'm just gonna try to fire off some burns, and it's not gonna fucking happen because Tentacruel is garbage. But this time I go into Scizor, because I thought he'd Wish, so my plan was to U-turn out, and whatever he switches in, I could just adjust to whatever. But he decides to go for a Body Slam, which makes no sense at all to me, since I do have a Skarmory, which is gonna wall him for days, but I don't care. Luckily he gets the Parahax on me though, since I was gonna U-turn, but now I get a Roost, and Gengar comes in, and I'm not really too scared. He's more than likely gonna be the sub-disable set and not have HP Fire, so I just went for a Bullet Punch just to get off some damage on that thing. And he goes back into Jirachi, and here he starts making a really good move. I went to Skarm because I knew he'd want to pass a Wish, but I thought he'd switch out directly to try to pass it, and you know, as I set up spikes or something. But he predicts the Whirlwind Roar, and he just stays in. So now that he managed to pass off a Wish to his Tentacruel, I'm gonna go into Tentacruel of my own, because I don't want to get Skarm burned, since I'm probably gonna eventually need to Brave Bird the Gengar. So having a burn on Skarm isn't really gonna be too good. So I'm just gonna go to Tentacruel, Rapid Spin first, because Stealth Rock is kind of gay, and my Rotom should be able to live a couple of Boiling Waters if the Stealth Rock are gone. So the plan here was to just Rapid Spin and then try to burn it and leave Tentacruel in here to die. But neither of us get the burn, so that's kind of gay. Fuck Tentacruel, it's garbage. So now when this shit dies, I'm gonna go into my Rotom, and like I said, I managed to Rapid Spin away his hazards, so I'm gonna be able to live a couple of Boiling Waters, which wouldn't really matter too much. The Stealth Rock, I mean, wouldn't really matter too much, but he does get the Parahax here. And if I didn't Rapid Spin, if I had gone another turn to try to get the burn, then this second Boiling Water would have killed me off. So luckily I spun and he got Parahax, but I'm able to live with 9 HP, and Volt Switch is going to be able to KO at this point, which was kind of surprising because Tentacruel has decent special defense, but normally in this metagame you have to run like max defense, so I guess it made sense. Even if it didn't kill though, I still got Gengar, so I would have went Volt Switched out to Gengar and then used Shadow Ball to kill him off. So I'm going to go for the Focus Blast here, hoping it'll be able to kill the Tyranitar, since I know it does around that much after Chople Berry, but it doesn't kill, so I probably should have went for Substitute then Disable just to play it a little safer, but I didn't. So Gengar fucking dies, and that's going to leave me free to go to my Scizor and Bullet Punch here, since nothing on his team really wants to take a Bullet Punch, and he's not going to go to Rotom in fear of me U-turning. So I figured he might go to Landorus, so Bullet Punch is what I did. He goes to Jirachi though, and I get a crit. Doesn't matter though, now that he has Jirachi in here, it's basically setup fodder for me. And he sets up a Wish, so I'm pretty sure he was going to go into Rotom here, since at this point his Rotom is still able to live a +2 Bullet Punch. But he just decides to stay in here, which I don't really care too much about, since now he's not going to be able to pass off any wishes to Rotom. So I'm going to go into T-Tar here. I might be able to live the Hydro Pump, so I'm going to go for Pursuit just in case he goes for the Volt Switch, which he actually ends up doing. So that was a pretty good move on my part, because now his Rotom is dead. And yeah, that pretty much leaves my Scizor for a free sweep once I get +2. So I'm going to go into Rotom here, basically as death fodder, because I need to bring in my Scizor yet again. And yeah, Rotom fucking dies. Now I'm going to go into Scizor, and I'm going to go for another Bullet Punch again, just in case his Landorus decides to come in on a possible U-turn. It's going to do more than U-turn, because he obviously resists it. So he brings out Landorus. I'm free to go to my Skarmory, and he's going to U-turn, which I knew he would do, but I know he's got Gengar left, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the sub-disable set. So I'm going to go for the Whirlwind here, or Roar, whatever the fuck, because I knew he'd probably predict my Brave Bird, and he's gonna go for the sub, predicting me to use Brave Bird. Then he would try to disable my Brave Bird so I could no longer hit him. But I kind of see through that plan, and it doesn't work out for him since he uses Substitute for no reason at all. And whirlwind him out into Landorus. I'm just gonna go for Brave Bird because I can. At this point, I basically have the game in the bag. So looks like Tornos me 129, bitch. But yep, more Brave Birds, more roosting. Skarm is gonna be able to finish off the remainder of his two guys. So looks like Tornos me 129. And yeah, I usually don't like to upload battles this fucking long, but I figured this one was pretty good, and Tornos me $1.29, so it's a win-win situation. Anyway, comment, rate, all that shit. I'm out.